Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome everybody to Naturally Inspired Radio. Woo-wee. Oh my goodness. It's a rainy day here in northern Colorado. It started raining last night. Filled up my 5-gallon pig bucket. I have this bucket that I keep on my deck because I put pig scraps and chicken scraps in it. Filled it all the way up to the top. 5 gallons, you guys. In, I want to say, like less than an hour. And we're still raining all day so far today. It has been raining. So it's kind of a strange day here. Dark, cloudy, woke up, and then of course I have to prepare for this show every day. So I start preparing for the show today, and wow, social media is ablaze, isn't it? Oh my gosh, I knew this was coming. And I have so many emotions around it. So it's so exciting because we're finally getting truth around Big Pharma. We're finally getting truth around vaccine injury. We're finally getting truth around so many things when it comes to our health. And it is so exciting. And I'm so happy for families right now that have been impacted by autism, but have been impacted by vaccine injury. If you don't know what it's like to be in this group of people who get told you're crazy, it's not a fun group to be in. And I don't pretend to be in that group nearly as intensely as a family that has an autistic child that has been vaccine injured. My child recovered from a vaccine injury. Thank you, Jesus. So I'm keenly aware how this could have ended up for our family. Because let me tell you, there were many signs now in hindsight that my son was not reacting well to injections. And I just have to thank God, But it also kind of lights a fire in me to make sure that I defend these families who have endured this ridicule, this silencing, very isolating type of thing when your child is vaccine injured and you know it, but you can't really tell anybody because you get told that you're crazy. Other mothers don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it, actually. Nobody wants to hear it. It's only been really since COVID that the discussion has been more opened up, where suddenly people who didn't want to take an experimental injection had some questions about vaccines. And that was like, oh, what? Huh? Oh, you want to talk about this now? Let's talk about it then. Let's talk about it. And so we've been talking about it. But I have said recently, and probably for a number of weeks now, that this announcement is going to have a great deal of fallout correlated with it. And I've said there's kind of going to be 3 different groups of people, how they respond to this type of announcement. There's going to be, by far my favorite group, is the parents of autistic children who have known, the moms who have known that this is what caused autism in their children. I can't imagine, all the emotions that they must have. There must be a sense of relief, a sense of shock, disbelievement that this is finally happening, that the mainstream is going to acknowledge this. I'm sure there's some happy feelings, I can't pretend, but I can imagine sort of what that must feel like, because I feel a tiny bit of that just because of the experiences that I had with my son. Nobody wants to talk about a flu shot that injured your kid. They don't want to hear that. Shut up. Shut up. So I can just imagine a tiny bit of the feelings that those people are going through, those families. And I'm so happy for them. So happy for them. And then there's going to be another group of people who have autistic children, but they have been told time and time and time and time again, don't even look at it. Don't even look at vaccines. Oh, of course it's not vaccines. Of course it's not Tylenol. Of course, no, that. Don't confuse your Google degree with my medical degree. There's no aluminum in vaccines. Those people are probably shocked and I hope kind of a little pissed off, because possibly they could channel that energy into something productive. So there's that group. And then we're going to have this other group, which I told you about. I've gotten in front of this because I knew this was coming. Okay. I knew this was coming. And boy, it's here. So it's going to be this third group that, out of defiance and their political viewpoint, right? They cannot break away from the cult, right? You gotta adhere to the cult tenets in order to remain in the cult. So no matter what, they're going to adhere to the cult tenets, okay? So that means you believe in science, you wear a mask, you get all your vaccines, you take your medications because science, right? Forgive them because they know not what they do. Because they truly don't. Their consciousness has been completely captured. So as you can tell, today's show, I've got a lot lined up for you. But this front topic is so, so important. And I hate to be controversial. I hate to be controversial. It's really not me. That said, though, this one's been on me. It's been on me. It's been on me. It's been on me. I'm not going to be able to not talk about it. So we're going to talk about it. And I know a lot of people are already mad on X because I'm talking about it. They're already mad. Already. How dare you? I don't need you to. Okay. I'm going to say, take a breath. Okay. Relax. Okay. We will completely parse it out here. And I'm going to bring you some ideas about it. Mull them around before you go into complete tantrum mode, because there are people that are going to be in absolute tantrum mode because they love their diagnosis, okay? Their diagnosis is their identity, and how dare you take it away from them? I hate to be dramatic here, but I feel like this is a very important moment. If we are going to get people who truly need help, if we are going to get that help to them, we have to be tough right now. There's going to be a whole lot of tantrums going on. And they're going to try to make you feel bad. And they're going to pull on your empathy strings. And they're, oh, how dare you? And you know what? Shh. Focused. Laser focus right now. Because the people who need us advocating for them, for their true health issues, need us. They need us. Let's go straight to the clip. First clip. We're going to squeeze it in right before the break. Watch this.
Here, I have a son who's 5 who is profoundly autistic. And you've probably heard, if you've met one autistic child, you've met one autistic child. It's a spectrum, which I don't think the spectrum is helpful, but that's another conversation. He is an amazing little boy, a blessing from God. He's marvelous. He can count to 1,000. He knows all of his letters and the sounds they make and the words for each one. But he also has a lot of obstacles. He is nonverbal. He can say those numbers and letters, but there's no communication. Unless you've lived With profound autism, you have no idea. You have no idea.
That's what I want to talk about. And I'm going to need your help. So stay tuned. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert-Garcia. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturalinspiredradio.com.
Don't forget, Naturally Inspired is a 2-hour radio show. I want to encourage you to stay tuned today for the full 2 hours because Chris from Prosper Wellness is going to be joining us. We're going to be talking a little bit about anxiety and CBD. And it's going to be a great conversation because it always is with Chris. He's got 15 years in, I think even more now, in health research. That's what he does. That's what he loves to do. So we're going to have a great conversation. And did you know that Naturally Inspired is on over 100 plus video, podcast, and social media platforms? When you search any platform for Tammy Cuthbert-Garcia or Naturally Inspired Radio, you can plug into us almost anywhere. Help us reach more people by liking our posts, following our channels, and leaving a comment in the chat. And don't forget, you can always visit naturalinspiredradio.com for an updated list of where we are featured online. Online and on radio. Okay, let's get back into this important discussion. So I want you to keep that clip in the forefront of your mind, okay? This is a mother with a child with profound autism. Do you know why we have to say profound autism? Why she has to make that distinction, profound autism? She has to make that distinction because the medical apparatus has expanded the spectrum of autism to such a degree that it's almost undefinable. It's kind of like one of those catch-alls. You know what I mean? Oh, I've got autism because I can't look people in the eye. I've got autism because I tend to interrupt in meetings. I've got autism because I can't sit still. Okay? She has to identify her child as profound autism because he's nonverbal. This is biological injury. Okay? Totally different than you not being able to sit still in a meeting, right? So this conversation is exploding online. Let's go to some more clips because I want to fill in the gaps here with what President Trump and Bobby Kennedy talked about yesterday. So let's go to the first one. Here it is.
You know it's artificially induced. It's not like something that when you go from all of those, healthy babies to a point where I don't even know structurally if a country can afford it. And that's the least of the problems. To have families destroyed over this is just so terrible. I also, and we've already done this, we want no mercury in the vaccine. We want no aluminum in the vaccine. The MMR, I think, should be taken separately. This is based on what I feel, the mumps, measles, and all the three should be taken separately. And it seems to be that when you mix them, there could be a problem. So there's no downside in taking them separately. In fact, they think it's better, so let it be separate. The chicken pox is already separate because when that got mixed in, I guess they made it for a while, it really was bad. So they make chicken pox. Individually, they're okay. When you mix them, something maybe happens. So there's no downside in doing it. It's not like, oh, if you do it, bad things. No, it's only good side. And it may not have that much of an impact, but it may have a big impact. So let those be taken separately. And then hepatitis B is sexually transmitted. There's no reason to give a baby that's almost just born hepatitis B. So I would say wait till the baby is 12 years old and formed and take hepatitis B. And I think if you do those things, it's going to be a whole different, it's going to be a revolution in a positive sense in the country.
Man, it's just wild to hear this coming from a U.S. president, right? I mean, he's calling for no mercury, no aluminum. Let me tell you, Scott Gottlieb, we played a couple of weeks ago on the show. He was on yet another one of the mainstream captured media outlets, and he discussed his fear. And let me tell you, Scott don't look as happy as he used to. Just you notice it right away. When he was on all the shows pumping the COVID vaccine, he was Scott, and now he's Scott. It's totally different. It's just interesting contrast. Anyway, when he was on there, he said, it's very difficult. I'm very worried that we won't be able to make these vaccines because mercury, aluminum, they're not easily replaced. In fact, there isn't a replacement for them. So I don't think everyone's catching on to that, how dramatic of an impact that this is going to make on the vaccine industry. They don't actually have another formula just to swap it out. And not only that, but I mean, think about how many they already have made. I mean, we've talked about this during COVID, right? How just the numbers during COVID, they weren't doable. You could not have possibly manufactured that many vials of COVID vaccine in the time frame that they did. unless they were already manufacturing them before. So interesting. So imagine the stockpile that they have that they now will no longer be able to use. So that's interesting. Separating them. I mean, you know what? Most of us, from a common sense viewpoint, this is all we've ever been asking for. Freedom to choose. And why in the heck are you having to jam 72 doses into this tiny body before the age of 18? And so many of them front-loaded from day one. From day one. Never made any sense. Let's go to the next clip.
Yes, go ahead, Brian.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to go back to the Amish community, if I can, just for a second. I recently saw a man from Minnesota, an Amish man from Minnesota, on a podcast, and the host asked him what the rates were for like ADHD and autism, and he had no idea about ADHD, didn't know that it existed, and certainly didn't know of any cases. What are they doing?
It doesn't exist with the Amish community, and they don't take all of this junk. It doesn't exist. That tells you, doesn't that tell you? That's like, that's like certain countries where it doesn't exist and they don't take it. Would you like to make a comment about that, Mark?
The Amish population is a very mixed group, so there's a subset that take vaccines, a subset that does not, and we know they have very low rates of chronic disease all across the board.
Isn't that interesting? But don't believe your lying eyes. This is what the narrative has the power to do, is to obstruct the truth. This constant repetition through the portal and the algorithm, programming your thought processes. So very interesting. The podcast they're talking about as well, which is kind of funny, is Theo Vaughn. I mean, this is the world we're living in, right? You get your true information from people that just don't have an agenda. They just don't have an agenda. Their agenda is truly you and a better life for you, a better life for all of our kids. They don't set up to give you information because they have, a bunch of donors that they have to please. They're just having people on their podcasts and asking questions. They're looking at the news and they're giving their opinion to you, how they process it, given on their life experiences. Just fascinating to me how much truth can be disseminated through that process of podcasting, through that process of somebody, just a normal somebody, questioning things. So fascinating. The Amish, their rates of chronic illness are extremely low. And I would add that also in Japan, their vaccine schedule is much different as well. I believe in Tokyo, it's much different. These are the places rather that have been studied, that they've been really looked at to look at their schedule for vaccination and their outcomes. We have those studies here in America. We have those studies. We have Dr. Paul Thomas, who had a practice, who saw the difference between unvaccinated and vaccinated children in his practice and said, hey, we got a difference here. And you know what our government did? They took his license away. That's what they did. They don't serve you. They serve corporations. They serve globalist agenda. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty. They're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
We have our Tuesday night weekly wellness workshop tonight at 7 o'clock Mountain Time. This week we're talking about SSRIs. If you want to get on it, it's so easy. All you have to do is go to Naturally Inspired store, become a customer of Naturally Inspired, and that opens up all of the Naturally Inspired community to you. Maybe you want to try our cellular reset. It's fantastic for a cellular reset that restores mitochondrial function, gets rid of free radicals. It's like a dense polyphenol, and it's done wonders for so many in our community, including myself. I love it. I'm missing mine. My order hasn't arrived yet. Hopefully it arrives tomorrow because I'm sure I'm missing mine. Anyway, you'll know what I mean when you start on it, because at first you're like, is this working? I don't know. And then 30 days later, you're like, oh, something's happening here. And then 2 months into it, you're like, I don't want to go without this. That's kind of how the cellular reset works. So get yours today at naturallyinspiredstore.com and join us on tonight's weekly wellness workshop. A word on the Amish as well. It's interesting to me that the Amish don't recognize the vocabulary around some of these diagnoses, ADD, ADHD. It's not in their vocabulary. And that's, I think, speaks volume to the social contagion that we have that is the funnel into big pharma. It's really interesting. All right, let's go to the next clip here. This is Bobby Kennedy calling out the hypocrisy, right? We see so much hypocrisy today. Listen to this.
Our friends like to say that we should believe all women. Some of these same people have been silencing and demonizing these mothers for 3 decades because research on the potential link between autism and vaccines has been actively suppressed in the past. It will take time for an honest look at this topic by scientists. But I want to reassure the people in the autism community that we will be uncompromising and relentless in our search for answers.
I would say suppressed, absolutely. And possibly might I even say that's an understatement. All you have to do is look to Jenny McCarthy and her experience when you talk about the lengths that big pharma, big corporations, the megacorp, right? The megacorp, the BlackRocks, the Vanguards, the globalist agenda has infiltrated everything. And when somebody like Jenny McCarthy came out to say, hey, I definitely saw something here. This is what happened. And this is what I'm doing to try to help my son. They didn't say, good on you, mama. Let's see how we can help you. No. They tried to ruin her, a single mother, ruin her career, ruin her ability to make money so that she could provide therapy for her son. That is who you're dealing with. So suppression, yes, but it's much, much bigger than that. It's vindictive. It's evil. Actually, I would use the word evil. So as expected, I started at the top of the show talking about these three groups of people. As expected, right on cue, we had these types of people piping up. Take a listen, or actually just watch this. Watch this. This is an actual Instagram post, and it was not an isolated incident. There were many such images showing up on social media today. This one reads, "Autism doesn't need to be cured." Autism doesn't need to be cured. I'm going to point you back to the spectrum here, right? This is where we have gotten in extremely deep water, okay? And it just so happens that this serves the medical mafia establishment perfectly, just like the term idiopathic does. There's a few things in the medical mafia paradigm that really light its fire and keep it going. One of those things is the term idiopathic. We don't know why. We don't know why it happens. A lot of dis-ease is labeled idiopathic. And you see, if you got to root cause, then you'd realize their solution that they're selling doesn't work. So one of the ways it continues on is them just labeling it idiopathic. It's a similar concept here with autism. You see, if they can broaden the spectrum from, one end to the next end and even, till infinity, then it doesn't really exist, does it? Because how do you define it? There's a lot of ways to define it, right? Actually, too many ways to define it, because at that point, everybody's autistic. And so what do you have there? Very difficult to pinpoint cause, isn't it? And I truly believe that has been the intention behind autism spectrum the entire time. So I want to bring you back to this woman, right, who's telling you, if you don't understand profound autism, if you're not experiencing it, you don't understand it. And so we have these people on social media that are calling for no cure. I don't need to be cured. And I'm going to say, wait for it. If you don't need a cure for autism, you don't have autism. That's it. If you're fighting against a cure for autism, you don't have it. You have something else. And I'm happy to introduce you to some of the things that might be going on with you. Okay? So let's get started here. First of all, Harvard has some wonderful studies about technology and how technology actually impacts brain development. So heavy screen use impacts development in the following ways: reduced human interaction, face-to-face communication, eye contact, tone of voice, body language is essential for social skill development. Too much screen time can replace those experiences, leading to awkwardness and difficulty reading social cues. Language and communication delays. Young children who spend more time on screens often have delayed speech and language skills, since back and forth conversation drives your language growth and your vocabulary. Attention and emotional regulation. Fast-paced apps and games that overstimulate dopamine pathways. This can make sustained focus, patience, and self-regulation in the real world much more difficult. Sensory overload. Narrow interests. Constant screen exposure may lead to strong preference of digital stimulation, mimicking repetitive or restricted interests, sometimes seen in autism. Social withdrawal. Over-reliance on digital interactions can reduce motivation on confidence to engage with real people, leading to isolation. The overlap with autism, with overuse of screens. Autism involves lifelong neurodevelopment differences. They're not acquired from screens. But overuse of screens can mimic traits like autism: poor eye contact, flat or awkward social interactions, difficulty in initiating and maintaining conversations, a preference for predictable, repetitive digital activities. Autism is neurodevelopmental. It's poison. It's toxicity. It's the inability to detox. It's a medical decision. It's biological. It's arm flapping. It's head banging. It's stimming. It's toe walking. It's nonverbal. It's diaper wearing. And when you're lumping yourself in to that kind of diagnosis, you're doing a huge disservice to the families who have autistic children. Here's another thing that you may not have considered. Trauma. Trauma can sometimes lead to behaviors that look similar to autistic symptoms. I've got so much more on this. But when we come back, we're going to move to a naturally inspired moment. And then after the top of the hour, we'll return to this topic. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
I didn't realize the way I was thinking about being unwell was actually keeping me unwell. And Tammy showed me how to break that loop and reframe my thoughts. Everything changed from that moment on. That is the type of work I do. If you have not yet booked your free 30-minute assessment with me, you can at naturallyinspiredstore.com. And I feel so blessed and so lucky that every day I get to meet with you and we spend some time together. And I start walking alongside you on this journey and just offering you that support that you need through the Naturally Inspired community to get to the right answers for yourself. That is how we are going to change health culture in the country, is when you take your power back and you understand that you are the most qualified to make your decisions about your health. You are. Nobody else is. You just need a little access to the right information and then, some work on how to apply it. And then you're off to the races. You never have to be dependent again. You can access the medical model when you need it, of course. I mean, I'm always singing the praises of emergency medicine here. I think it's fantastic. It's wonderful. But the point is, you're not at its mercy, that you are informed to be able to make the decisions on your own and make them, in the right time as well. That you don't feel like you're at the mercy of this solution, because that's all you know. That's all you're being told. There are many solutions. And the one that resonates with you, chances are that's the one you should walk with. But it's almost like a reconditioning, to come back to ourselves, to empower ourselves. And that's, I think, part of the beautiful model of Naturally Inspired is we're just a community. We're just a community here centered on health, supporting people in finding the right answers for themselves about their health. One of the things that bothers me about labels and diagnoses is why people allow it to become their identity. It becomes their identity, and I'm telling you, it's not by mistake. We are seeing now and have been seeing this social contagion of identifying by our medical conditions. Whole Instagram accounts about my obesity, whole Instagram accounts, TikToks about my neurodivergent diagnosis. What if those go away? What if that ability to identify as a medical diagnosis goes away? Who are you without your diagnosis? Because that's who you really are. That's who you really are. And what I'm saying is be who you really are. You're enough. You're more than enough. You don't need this diagnosis to become your identity to be special. Today's Naturally Inspired Moment is about how to claim your empowerment and rise above offense. Because you see, the weapon that is going to be deployed right now, especially in this topic of autism, is, oh my gosh, I'm so offended. Great. Great, be offended. If you don't want a cure for autism, then guess what? You don't have to take the cure. Don't take it. But by all means, do not impair somebody else's path to that cure. Because then we're going to have a problem. Empowerment. Why would you not want to embrace the fact that you actually don't have autism? Because in your mind, autism isn't curable and you don't know why you have it. You were just born that way. Great. Okay. Not true. I don't understand the tendency to want to identify with this type of thing. I'm telling you, the parents of autistic children want a cure. They want one. So here's something to look at, how to claim your empowerment. Empowerment comes when you choose to direct your energy toward growth instead of wasting it on being offended. If what I'm saying offends you, then you should dive deeper into that. Because it shouldn't. If you're truly secure in yourself and who you are, words should not really offend you. I've been called many, many names. And I could care less at this point. I could care less. Really, I don't care. Just this morning, you're an idiot. You're an imbecile. Blah, blah, blah. Right? Hilarious. I don't care. I don't have time for you. There is work to be done here. And that's the way you should feel. Empowerment comes when you choose direct your energy toward growth. Own your story. Your past doesn't hold you back. It built your strength. List 3 challenges you've overcome and view them as proof of your resilience. Right? Sometimes you need a little reminder of the hardship that you've gone through. You don't need an anchor. You don't. Who are you? Again, I would remind you, who are you without that? Who are you without that? When you spend more time in the mental space of who am I without this issue, you actually push out the negative thoughts. You just don't have time for them. Because now you've taken up space in your thoughts that's focusing on something else that actually goes towards your growth instead of building a deeper weakness for you. 2, set boundaries without guilt. Boundaries keep you strong, not bitter, right? So practice one small no today to protect your energy. That's empowerment. Controlling your time, not feeling like I have to do this. I don't want to do this. I got to though, because no, you don't. You can be joyful and say, that doesn't fit into my schedule right now. I can't do it. And that's empowerment, not operating out of guilt or feelings of like, I have to do this because the consequences is this person will think something bad of me. Let them. Let them think something bad of you. That's their own stuff to deal with. Saying no does not make you a bad person. It makes you strong and able to control your time. Reconnect with your body. Physical strength fuels mental strength. So nourishing yourself with real food, making sure you're hydrated, building muscle, right? Being mindful and purposeful with the reconnection of your body. Your body is where you have to live. You got no other place to live. This is where you got to live. So it must be priority to take care with it. Every action is creating a reaction in your body. And so you want to be intentional with building yourself up instead of tearing yourself down. Number 4, choose growth over offense. I just feel like everywhere you look nowadays, people are looking for a reason to be offended. Did they say that? Like I was saying that yesterday with Don Lemon. Like, my gosh, the mental gymnastics he had to put himself through to make Charlie Kirk's memorial a negative thing. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating to me that you can turn something good into something bad through your filter of trauma or your filter of offense, because how can I be offended here? We don't need a cure for autism. I'm offended. What? It's crazy, right? Speak truth boldly. Speak truth boldly. And, we've been going through this now, this lesson of truth, this upregulating of our consciousness. We've been going through this now, since 2020, really on rapid mode. I feel like somebody just, pressed the rapid mode, warp mode speed during COVID. You really, you got to develop your consciousness right now. We talked about that map yesterday of consciousness. Where are you on that map of consciousness? Because now's the time to really upregulate that. Stay in the positive, right? Don't forget, courage is the crossover line from low frequency vibration and emotions, right? So negative emotions create that low frequency. The higher frequency is positive emotions. And guess what's right on the line? Courage. Because that's what you need to cross over into higher consciousness. So speak truth. Empowerment isn't about proving others wrong. It's about standing strong in who you are without letting in offense. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio. where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome back for the second hour of Naturally Inspired Radio. A couple of announcements I want to say. Tracy was our winner last week. So if you didn't know, we give away free product every week, every Friday. Last Friday, I forgot to make the announcement, so I wanted to make sure I got it in this week. But Tracy won our free giveaway last week. If you haven't yet entered to win, well, keep entering, because I mean, who doesn't want free product? Go to naturallyinspiredstore.com. You can find most everything there. And if you want to read more, you can go to naturallyinspiredradio.com as well. Those two websites is where you can go. She got some wonderful products for detoxing, liver support and another product. So that's what we do. You know, we're encouraging people to get connected with real solutions for health. And I firmly believe there is a path. There's always a path to optimum health. So go over there, naturallyinspiredstore.com. Get yourself entered to win. Have a poke around. Become a customer. Join us tonight, Tuesday night, for our weekly wellness workshop. We appreciate all of you in the chat leaving your comments. I love that you keep Jason on his toes doing that. Makes it a lot more fun for him while he's producing the show. So thank you for being in the chat. We always have a lot of the same people in the chat, and I just want to make sure that I'm grateful for you being there. It's really wonderful that we can have this conversation, that we meet in person, you know, with a 30-minute free assessment. And we're ongoing. We're actually building a real community here. This isn't bots. My health text line is me. It's actually me. I respond to it. It's not a bot. It's not a automated thing. When you converse with me on my health text line, it's actually me sending that text. So know that. And if you're looking for a community, Naturally Inspired is the one. Look no further. naturallyinspiredstore.com. Stay tuned, because at 4:30, Chris from Prosper Wellness is going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about Joint Restore 1 CBD gummies. You can check out his website at jointrestore1.com. But we're going to be talking all about that wonderful formula that he has with CBD and boswellia. So it's going to be a great conversation, I know, because it always is when Chris comes on. So stay tuned for that. Let's get back into this highly controversial topic of autism and what really is the definition to autism. We've been talking about it a lot. You know, I've been talking about it for a long, long time. I've brought up this idea that there are other things, you know, that have been lumped into this autism spectrum disorder that I'm really concerned about. So, like, what are some examples that I'm concerned about when it comes to having this broad spectrum for diagnosis? Well, here, like this could really alter science. You know what I'm saying? We have people, you know, that have profound autism, and a lot of those people have really disrupted gut microbiomes. I'm talking about profound autism. A lot of them have disrupted microgut biome. If we are, you know, expanding the spectrum so much, that may skew the science, you know? It may be like, well, I don't have any gut problems. You know, I have autism. I was diagnosed with autism and I don't have any gut problems. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying here? And I mean, that goes true to a lot of things. You know, just being able to make sure that it doesn't derail science. Don't you want the right fit for yourself? You know, that's what I would ask a lot of these people. Don't you want the right fit for yourself? Like, if you really want a diagnosis, don't you want the right one? I'm concerned because here's another thing. Trauma can impact behavior in such a way that it shows up almost like autism. I know, it's crazy. But hear me out. Trauma can sometimes lead to behaviors that look similar to autism, though the underlying causes are very different. Autism versus trauma response. Autism, a neurodevelopment condition, right? I believe it's a biological condition, right? It's an injury with differences in social communication, sensory processing, and repetitive behaviors. Those are some of the things used to diagnose autism. And here's trauma. A strong stress response to adverse events like abuse, neglect, violence, medical trauma can affect the brain wiring, stress regulation, and behavior in the same way. So children or adults with trauma histories may show traits that look like autism, such as social withdrawal, difficulty connecting, mistrust or fear versus innate communication differences, repetitive behaviors, rigidity as a coping mechanism to feel safe and in a controlled space, sensory sensitivities, heightened vigilance due to nervous system dysregulation, flat affect or emotional blunting, because this is a protective response versus a neurodevelopmental difference. Communication difficulties, again, this is all from trauma, right? Speech delays, in autism versus mutism or selective silence in trauma. Selective silence. So autism, it's neurodevelopmental differences detected earlier in life, often from, in my opinion, this is my opinion, biological injury. Heavy metal toxicity, possibly. It could be gut dysbiosis, right? A destroying of the gut. We also have the factor of the MTHFR gene, which, that's another thing. We really have to get to the bottom of this stuff. And if we have people that are, self-diagnosing with autism and they don't have the MTHFR gene, do you see how that could really affect the people who do have the MTHFR and autism? Like, you're skewing the science here. We're going to have to parse through this stuff. And I know it's going to be painful for you all. And I know you're going to throw tantrums because you're already throwing them. It's gross. It's really gross. Look at this. If this isn't, I just want to say, if you have been sucked into this cult, this algorithm, if your consciousness has been captured and you allow the algorithm to do all your thinking for you, I want to just, show you some empathy, because you have been caught up you're a victim of a culture war. We're fighting a culture war on so many different battlefields. It's like it's exhausting. Right? They're over here. Oh, butcher your body. Oh, over here, gender. You don't know what gender you are. Oh, over here, right, extreme right. Over here, extreme left. Like, there's so many battles going on. It's hard to, even quantify them and understand what one you're getting sucked into. So I have empathy for you. I do. Like, if you have a kid that wants to cut off their genitals and you're promoting that, you are a victim of the culture war. If you identify as a medical diagnosis, you are a victim of the culture war. But come on out, because life is better when you don't identify as a medical diagnosis. It is way better. Way better. So much more exciting things can be done here. You can be a creator, in a very unique way. You don't need a medical diagnosis to feel special. What you're really doing is, you're being funneled into a pharmaceutical model. That's what's happening to you. You're being funneled into a pharmaceutical model. So, trauma-acquired patterns of response after overwhelming experiences. A child can have both, too, major trauma and vaccine injury. Because the medical industry in itself is pretty traumatic. Especially when you're told your whole life, that you're not vaccine injured, or that, none of these medications have impacted your health. It's really all your own fault, right? It's your body's fault. It's idiopathic. Here's another one, and I know people are going to get really mad at this one. I'll introduce it right before we go to break. Narcissism. Yes, narcissism personality disorder and autism spectrum disorder are very different conditions, but there is some overlap that might lead to confusion if not carefully assessed. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturalinspiredradio.com.
Have you heard of oxygen training? Live O2 delivers oxygen-rich performance right at home, helping you boost your energy, recover faster, and feel your best at any age. It's like supercharging your body from the inside out. You can learn more about this incredible modality at liveO2.com. That's liveO2.com. You can call Mark at 970-658-2789. And I think Mark's coming on tomorrow. So we'll have a great conversation again about Live O2. Again, it's liveO2.com. Yes, narcissism can be confused now with this massive array of symptoms, signals that can be classified into an autism spectrum disorder. Narcissism. Let me tell you how. So narcissism personality disorder and autism spectrum disorder are very different conditions, but there can be surface level overlap that might lead to confusion when not carefully assessed. So social difficulties. In autism, people may struggle with reading social cues, understanding unspoken rules, or expressing empathy in a typical way. In narcissism, may seem socially impaired due to self-focus, lack of genuine empathy, or manipulative behaviors. Rigid behaviors in autism, people with autism prefer structure and routine because it feels safe and predictable. And when someone's a narcissist, they can also be rigid, but usually when personal control, ego, or superiority feels threatened. I'm telling you, I've seen this in action. Somebody who is clearly a narcissist and is pulling out an autism card to say, oh, I interrupt and have to talk over people because of my autism. Excuse me, what? Apparent lack of empathy. In autism, it may appear that they don't have empathy, but because it's expressed differently, they have difficulty with emotional situations. In narcissism, there's a lack of empathy, and it's often dismissive of others' needs. So autism is obviously a neurodevelopmental problem, a biological condition, right? Exposure to toxicity. Narcissism develops from personality patterns, and it's often rooted in childhood trauma and coping mechanisms. Autistic traits are not manipulative, obviously. Difficulties come from wiring, right? Narcissistic behaviors are driven by self-esteem regulation, control, or validation needs. So the misdiagnosis can happen because in a clinician situation, they can interpret social awkwardness or lack of expected emotional response. They might confuse autism with narcissism without digging deeper. This is why we need this biological research done, Women and high-functioning autistic adults are especially at risk for misdiagnosis since masking or coping strategies may look like personality traits. I think, it's very manipulative. And I think maybe even some narcissist might believe that they are on the spectrum. It's a real mess. It's a real mess we have here. And that we've allowed to happen. But we have to parse it apart, and we can't give up. I want to share with you a couple clips here. I picked these randomly. I'm not picking on anybody. I could have picked so many of them. Okay? There's so many of these now online. Watch this in response to Tylenol and Trump's announcement yesterday. Here it is. So what state of mind do you have to be in? If you are not captured by a cult, then what is this? Somebody warned you about the problems, the medical flags of using Tylenol while pregnant. And because your hate for them or your capture, your consciousness that's been captured, you can't even resist wanting to show them wrong, I guess. I'm not really sure. This is really wild. It's like somebody tells you, don't eat poop because it'll make you sick. But if Trump says don't eat poop, I think these people might eat poop. And I'm not joking. I think they might. That's how captured their consciousness is. Who cares who said it, right? This isn't even new. That's what kills me. This Tylenol thing, it ain't even new. This research and stuff has been around since the 90s, the late 90s. This is not new. And has nothing to do with Trump. Nothing. He just happens to be ballsy enough to deliver the message. And I have to give Trump credit because, he said, I just loved it when he said this, Bobby has to be careful, and I understand he wants to be careful. But me, I'm not so careful. Because what are they going to do to him at this point? This is his final term. He's been through absolute hell. What are you going to do to him at this point? They already tried to kill him. So if anybody can tell the truth right now, it's him. And he is. He's telling you, it's bad. It's bad. Tylenol's bad. Don't take it when you're pregnant. Like, it's bad. We're seeing studies. These are old studies. We got new studies now. Like, it's bad. Don't take it. It's wild, right? It's because this is an identity. Their politics are an identity. It's who they are. It's not outside of them. We can discover why I think that is. It's a lack of purpose in a lot of people's lives. And so they have to adapt. This next one, I want to preface here. I'll go straight to it. I just picked it randomly. I'm not picking on anybody here. These accounts are plentiful. Here's a neurodivergent account from TikTok. Watch this.
Hi, Mom. Can I ask you a question? Okay, what is it like having an entirely neurodivergent family?
The way I can really describe it as is like the Addams family. Everybody is doing something different and weird. You might have, me, for example, rocking my legs or shaking my legs while you have the other fidgeting with their hands, or somebody blowing, chewing gum and blowing bubbles, which bothers the other one. Or you might have, somebody who is, wearing a hat in the house that doesn't want to take it off, not even to sleep. You might, so it's interesting, yet, now that we understand a little bit about, what we are, we tend to support each other and tolerate each other more, because sometimes me shaking my leg, for example, in church, and I'm shaking the entire bench and everybody's rocking and they're holding my leg, and then I would focus and I was like, okay, I'll stop shaking my leg. But there I go again. 2 seconds later, I'm shaking my leg. So it's interesting. It's a very interesting thing.
Okay.
Why is this a diagnosis? I shake my leg all the time, by the way. I shake my leg all the time. This woman, it says in the caption, she has autism. I don't even know what to say about this. These accounts are everywhere. They're everywhere. Yeah. Like, beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. Why are we identifying with diagnosis? Like, what is going on here that we do not think we are special, unique enough? What happened to just being yourself? To feel normal, you have to have a diagnosis. Oh, now I'm neurodivergent, whatever the hell that means. I don't even know what that means. This is a pharma model. Do you understand this? This is a pharma model. This is a funnel to push you into pharmaceutical products because you don't know yet. It's genetic. You don't know why you're this way or that. You don't know why you shake your leg on a bench. You don't know why you want to wear your hat inside the house. It's blowing my mind. I think it has something to do with soft parenting as well, which I guess we'll talk about maybe tomorrow, because Chris from Prosper Wellness is coming up, and I can't wait to discuss your cannabinoid system. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty, they're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
Welcome back. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. Our health topic today was going to be talking about the MTHFR gene mutation and iron. But ran out of time. I just got a little bit too carried away with all the things I got to talk about here. Sometimes that happens. And I'm sorry, but rest assured, I'll be covering this a lot in the coming weeks. And I will get right back on track tomorrow with it. I know many of you are interested in the topic, so we will be covering it at length ongoing as all of this stuff unfolds. But right now, Chris Berg is going to be joining us from Prosper Wellness. He is an entrepreneur and a natural health expert. He's a researcher and he's full of all kinds of information. Chris Berg, welcome to Naturally Inspired. I'm so glad you're here today.
Thanks for having me on, Tammy. I'm thrilled to be here again. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. How's it going? How are things where you're at?
It's going great. I had a great summer and it's shaping up to be a great fall. And I'm just thrilled to be back here talking to you.
Yeah, lots of rain today. You know, I'm always a little bit of a sad girl when we head into fall and winter, you know.
Yes, shorter days get to me for sure.
Yeah, but today I want to talk a little bit about the cannabinoid system.
Yes.
I would love for you to explain this to our audience because many people still aren't aware that they have receptors for this. And so what does it mean and why should we be filling them and what impact can it have?
Yeah, I think our endocannabinoid system is probably one of the most poorly understood systems in our body, but it's also super high impact. And a lot of people don't realize this. They associate cannabis with sort of getting high and that sort of thing. And they can certainly do that, but that's one of about 20 different things that cannabinoids can do for us. And we're getting so much research now and so many more studies about this now that it's legal in so many places. And we're seeing that it regulates mood and stress response. It Obviously, pain and inflammation is a very popular one, but also our sleep cycles. And I use cannabinoids, and we'll talk about Joint Restore specifically later, but I use it to sleep at night, and it has really changed how I sleep. It keeps me asleep. Some people have problems falling asleep. I have problems staying asleep. I used to wake up at about 3 to 3:30 every morning, so I was only getting about 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night. And what we've discovered about sleep is that last hour that before you wake up naturally is really the most important sleep that you have. This is when all of our memories are stored, the knowledge that we've learned in the previous day, that's when it's assimilated into the brain and stored. And if you don't have that last hour of sleep, if you're waking up too early, then you'll notice your mental performance really declines. So when I recommend cannabinoids like CBD, it really is for your brain because it helps you sleep. Without sleep, you cannot think properly. And then there's other things like it can regulate appetite and metabolism. A lot of people think that cannabinoids only drive appetite. They can actually curb appetite too in certain cases. And they're also good for immune system activity. So it's really one of these, I love multi-tools, right? The old Gerber multi-tool that we carry on our belt. I'm sure you've got one. You live on a farm. I'm sure Jason has a bunch of them. This is a multi-tool. This is something that can do a lot of different things for the body. And it's really important for people to understand this if you're struggling with certain things.
Okay. So much I want to ask you about here. So when it comes to receptors, can you give us kind of like a visual about, these receptors that we have and why it's important that, because I was told once upon a time, a long time ago, that my cannabinoid receptors were kind of wilty.
Okay. It's time to wake them up, huh?
Yeah. They kind of go dormant or something, I think, is how so explained to me.
Yeah. So receptors are similar to, if you think about if your body was made up of Legos, and I'm sure if you have kids, you have a ton of Legos laying around the house, you probably stub your foot on them at night. I know I still do. I did it last night, actually. But the Legos, Legos are actually, this is true of anything you put in your body that acts on the body. You have to have a receptor for these chemicals to do anything in your body. If you put something in your body and there's no real receptor, you're just going to excrete it. And so the cannabinoid receptors are like a piece of Lego, and then the cannabis attaches to them. And there's CB1 receptors that are abundant in the brain and the central nervous system. There's CB2 receptors that are common in immune cells and the gut and really throughout the rest of the body. And so when we use a full spectrum CBD, we get to act on both those kinds of receptors. This is why we recommend full spectrum, which is really, full spectrum is just using all of the hemp plant. We're not extracting certain CBD chemicals and terpenes from it. We're usually really using all the plant. And personally, I think that's really important, because if you're into holistic medicine, then you need holistic medicine. The medicine needs to be holistic too. And the way nature and God created these things, they include a lot of the chemicals they need to act on the body. And so these little Legos, they attach together. And when they do that, certain changes happen to the body. And doctors like to call what cannabinoids do overall is to homeostasis. It's the fancy way of saying it keeps your body in balance. And it's so hard to know just how much it does until we stop taking it. And I get clients saying all the time, well, I ran out and then I realized I wasn't sleeping well. I ran out and I realized my knees hurt again. And it's one of those things that can be subtle in the beginning, but you really notice it over the long term with, like I said, cognition, sleep, and pain is really the most popular ones.
Is all full spectrum CBD created equally?
No.
This is the problem with CBD industry, right?
Yeah, it is a problem. Unfortunately, there's a lot of charlatans out there. And one of the things that we really like to do at prospercbd.com is list all of our labs. So any product that we sell, in fact, going back to the beginning of our business, back when we started selling CBD in 2018, we keep all of our labs, and every product that we test every product we sell is tested for the CBD levels. And we actually source most of our hemp plants from Colorado. My business partner was a farmer who grew up in Idalia, which is a tiny little town in Northeast Colorado. There's probably somebody in Idalia listening to the show right now. His name is Chaz Shively. If you know the Shively family, then you know my partner. And some of the hemp is still grown in Colorado, but it's all U.S. grown hemp. And like I said, we use all of the hemp plant that's really extracted down to first full spectrum. So you want full spectrum. You want to see a company that has their labs available on their website. And you want somebody that's got lots of good reviews too. That's a good way to tell if you're getting a good provider.
I agree. Reviews are king, and you have a ton of them. That's one of the things when, I first found you, that I went straight to your website and I saw all of these reviews, because the people speak. People do speak. And so you have to have a good product nowadays. There's just so much noise that really is a true test of a product, is what people are saying about it. You mentioned the receptors, like CB2 is for immune. I want to talk a little bit about anxiety. We're going to go to break here in a couple of minutes here, short minutes, but what is the broad spectrum? What is the one for anxiety?
Yeah, it's really part of the central nervous system. So CB1 receptors really act on the anxiety part. And so what it seems to do, and a lot of this we don't totally understand, but what it seems to do is it tends to drop our blood pressure a little bit often. And it really, for me and a lot of my clients, it really puts a calm in the mind. And we found that with a lot, marijuana is now legal in Colorado. And so they're experimenting with a lot of these strains, and they're finding that THC is actually a little bit of a stimulant. And in certain doses, it can be a lot of a stimulant. So we're learning now that the CBD part of marijuana was the part that was calming us down and sort of chilling us out, right? Back in the days when some of us maybe would partake in a little bit of marijuana. And so the CBD really calms the mind. And I take our joint restore gummies all the time. And even when I don't have pain, I love it on an airplane, because for me, when I really feel my anxiety is when I'm traveling, especially when I'm traveling with my kids. You've got the bags, you've got all the stuff, you got to get on the plane. It's so noisy, it's so stressful, you're packed in like sardines. And I love taking a couple of these joint restore gummies before we start traveling, and it just chills me out. And it hits that nervous system, and I just feel calmer. I don't feel spaced out. I'm not staring at the ceiling or staring at my hand or anything. I'm not stoned. Just relaxed.
I love that. I can't wait to continue this conversation, because I have a lot more questions. But we're going to go to break right now. Everybody, this is Chris Berg. You want to visit jointrestore1.com. Use promo code Tammy for a little bit of a discount. Thank you, Chris, for offering that. 20%. That's awesome. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure?
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty. They're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code Tammy at checkout for a special discount.
I'm talking to Chris Berg today from Prosper Wellness. You can visit prosperwellness.com. Check out all their line of products. But specifically, we've been talking about the CBD gummies that they have developed. And you can get those at jointrestore1.com. Easy to find, jointrestore1.com. When you use promo code Tammy, that's TAMMY, you'll receive 20% off of your order. Chris, welcome back to Naturally Inspired. I would love to get into your formulation because you have a really special formulation. And I heard something the other day and I immediately thought of you and I thought, is that true? And then I forgot to look it up. So maybe you know it's true. I don't know. Yeah. Is Boswellia frankincense?
It is. That's exactly what it is. Yep. So it's been used for centuries in religious ceremonies. And of course, it was at the presence of the birth of Christ. And it has a really powerful healing property. And it's a fascinating story because we used to, they burned it in religious ceremonies, and it was discovered to have these healing properties. And it turns out that it is incredibly powerful anti-inflammatory. And inflammation is really misunderstood. You need acute inflammation, which is when you cut your arm or when you have an injury playing a sport or something, and you need the swelling to actually start the healing process. But chronic inflammation is actually very bad for you, and it can be deadly if it occurs in your organs. But in your joints, chronic inflammation stops the healing process. It actually tells the body that to not heal this joint. And so that's where you get wear and tear, and eventually a lot of people get bone-on-bone conditions, and it's incredibly painful. So Boswellia combined with CBD can stop the chronic inflammation. And when that happens, the chemicals from your body, your natural body processes, especially if you're taking collagen and things like this, which I know you're big fans of, you can start the healing process and you can actually regrow collagen. You can actually regrow healthy joint material. And so meniscus and all these things that help the joints have nice cushiness, you can regrow that if you stop this inflammation process, which is why if you go to jointrestore1.com, you'll see so many testimonials. I encourage you to go down to the reviews at the bottom of the page and type in the words cane, C-A-N-E, C-A-N-E, or walker, and you will see dozens of testimonials from people who have stopped using a cane because of this process. We stopped the chronic inflammation. The body was able to heal, and they were able to regrow cartilage. And so, and it has been proven with x-rays and things like that. We actually have some x-rays on the site that you'll see from one of the studies that on Boswellia. So it is incredibly powerful plant that grows in the Middle East, and now it's in our gummies, and people are literally walking again without the aid of a cane or a walker. And this is why I do this. This is exactly why I'm in this business, because it's a tough business, as you know.
Yeah.
Having a business is tough, period.
Yes.
It's not a lot of fun sometimes, but I get these testimonials, and it just makes my day, and it just keeps us going here.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. It's just hearing that people are making different choices and that they're getting on the path to optimum health. It's the only reason why we do what we do, Chris, because you're right. It's not easy.
It is not easy.
It's like, yes, I woke up one morning and I just decided I wanted to swim against the tide.
Right.
I'm going to start in health and wellness.
That's right. And you get a lot of shade from medical doctors,
yes,
and medical establishment that you're selling hokum or
yes,
whatever it is. It's nonsense. It's
you're a snake oil salesman, which by the way, everybody, yes. David Rockefeller was literally the first snake oil salesman. He was literally the very first one, and now we live in Rockefeller medicine model. So whatever.
Yes. That's exactly right. And then I show them the studies that show this, double-blind placebo-based studies that show that Boswellia is incredibly powerful, that CBD is incredibly powerful. And a lot of them come around to my point of view. So we're changing minds and changing lives here.
Absolutely. Frankincense can be very expensive. So I think this is so wonderful that you've brought CBD to the marketplace. That is so potent. First of all, I've used it myself after hard workouts. I don't deal with pain, thankfully. Thank you, Lord. I don't deal with pain very often, but I tend to push myself kind of hard sometimes on workouts. And then I get a little scared, like, oh my gosh, tomorrow I'm really going to be paying for this. But I have used your gummies as a recovery. And I woke up the next morning and just been like, oh, I really got away with that one. Not really, because it's a very powerful combination that you have there. And I've used other CBDs before, Chris, and I'm actually pretty sensitive to CBD. Like I have taken stuff that, I just bought, from a store or whatever, and I actually felt high from it, and it was CBD.
Yes.
I don't know how that happened. And they assured me, you can't possibly feel high. I'm like, why am I laying in my bed waiting for this to expire? I'm definitely feeling something here. It was terrible. I do not like being high. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So how do you control the formula and make sure, because that does not happen with yours?
Yep. So we make sure that there's less than 0.3% THC. And that's what makes it legal in all 50 states. And that the THC is the psychoactive substance, really. That's what makes people high. So we're very cognizant, because most of our customers are 60 years or older and they don't want to be high. And many of them are truck drivers, where if they have a certain THC content in their urine, they're going to lose their job. And so we're very, very cognizant. There is still some THC in there. So and at these levels, like I talked about with the full spectrum hemp, they're actually beneficial for you. But if you're worried about that, I would suggest taking a half gummy to start, and you'll see how you feel. I think you'll feel kind of a nice little mellowness, and I think your pain will subside. I also wanted to mention, you mentioned hard workouts. We have a topical called the Pain Freeze Cream. And so we really love that for people with arthritis who need relief fast. And of course, Tylenol is now all over the news.
Yes.
And so if you need pain relief fast and you want long-term relief in your joints, I suggest the Pain Freeze Cream, which is also available. You'll see it as you begin the checkout process with Joint Restore at jointrestore1.com. Add that into the cart, and you'll get the instant pain relief from the topical, and it'll help muscle pain, also nerve pain. People love it for neuropathy in the feet and the hands. And then you'll get the long-term relief from the Joint Restore gummies, and it's a really, really potent combo.
I love that because we're synergistic beings, you know,
Yes, we are.
and I talk about that. You brought up collagen. I talk about that with collagen all the time. That you know, it's what you're putting inside your body as well. And there's a huge benefit to feeding your endocannabinoid system. And
yeah, I think people sleep better, and the pain and the sleep go together, right? You get stiff in the bed, and then I need to get up because I can't. It's painful. So you're going to sleep better because you won't have as much pain, and you're going to sleep better because your endocannabinoid system is working.
Yeah. You mentioned the last hour of sleep. I think people will think that's very interesting because I do.
It
Is that the process of the glymphatic system that we go through where we're detoxing the brain?
Yeah.
So it's the last hour?
That's exactly what it is. It's the flushing out of the dead cells and the bad stuff out of the brain, and then this assimilation of memories and learnings, and the best sleep you're going to get is in that last hour. And that's why I think a lot of people feel really rough if they get woken up around 3 or 4 a.m., right? Because that's really most people's last hour. You can go to bed a little bit late, and if you still get sort of that 6 or 7 hour range, you're okay, right? Yeah, you're probably not going to go into the gym and hurt yourself like Tammy does. I have a lot of energy for that, but it's when you wake up early is that you really struggle with brain fog and things like that. That's because your brain is not flushing out that bad stuff and really doing that last the REM sleep is what really helps with the cognition, and that's when we often have the deepest dreams too. And the dreams seem to be important for maintaining healthy brain function.
Sure. Tell us again where we can get the CBD.
Yes, go to jointrestore1.com, jointrestore with the number 1.com, and use the promo code Tammy. I want to apologize for your audience. I just realized before I got on that your coupon had expired. So I just turned it back on.
Okay.
It's good for 20% off. And come on back and try them out and let me know what you think.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being with us today, Chris. Awesome. It was wonderful.
Big fan,
See you tomorrow, everybody.
Have a great one. Bye.
You too.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.